So, this is my platform. We're going to be doing a little video today about gear, the stuff that I'm using, as if anybody cares. But I care. I think it's fun to talk about this stuff, so we're going to talk about it. So this is my platform, my setup platform. Super light. Love this thing. I don't know how light. I know it's like sub 2 pounds. This thing's awesome. This is the Razor from Arsenal, I think is how you say their name. I'm not sure. This will be my 3rd season using this. I think it'll be my 3rd season using this. I think I bought this thing in like 2023. I really don't know. There's probably gonna be some nerd that's like, actually it came out and you can suck it. I don't care. So anyways, the point being, I love this platform. It's awesome. Super easy to use. Super light. Huge upgrade from the Predator that I was using before. Nothing wrong with the Predator. It's reliable, does the job. I killed some deer with it. But this is better. Okay, let me tell you why it's better. 1, it's lighter. 2, it's more slim and compact. Okay, it doesn't take up as much room. 3, you got a little more foot space on here than you would with the regular Predator. Sure, they got the Predator XL, blah, blah, blah. Don't really care about that. This thing is super nice. It's, I would say, from my perspective, it's kind of in the middle of large and small.
Call it a medium-sized platform.
I haven't had any issues with all-day sits with this thing. I love it. Literally no problems at all. Super, super adjustable. Right here you can kind of max. I have it maxed out all the way almost actually, because I just like my platform to sit against the tree like this. You know what I mean? That's just how I roll. So I like it like that. This black stuff you see on here is hockey tape. I'm a hockey tape fanatic. I love it. Put it on almost everything. Drew or Reed will tell you guys that. I put hockey tape on everything. It's actually on my climbing sticks, it's on my bow, it's on my quiver. It's actually even on the rope that this attaches with right here. Anything that can make noise, I like to make it quiet, because why would you want to make more noise? So anyways, we'll jump into the stuff that I like about this. So throw the rope around the tree, figure 8, go around a couple times, you're good. I'm sure that their little pamphlet says, don't do that, do it this certain night, like this certain way, this certain knot. Look guys, I'm just here to get in the tree fast, okay? I haven't had any issues with what I do with it. I just go over, a couple times around, and then over again, a couple times around, and before you know it, there's almost no slack in the rope, and it's not dangling in the wind. You don't have to do anything crazy to get rid of the slack. It's good. Thing bites into the tree like crazy. Love this stand, or this platform rather. And it actually comes with this little clip too for those guys that put their platforms on their saddles when they're climbing up the tree. I don't do that, but for the guys that do that, it's super nice for that. By the way, we're not sponsored. I just love this platform, so I'm gonna sit here and brag about it. As you just heard, it kind of has this little locking feature here, where you can put it against the tree and kind of cam it in there before setting it, and that way you can kind of put your foot on this thing and really clamp it down in there. I haven't had any issues with this thing slipping or sliding or anything like that like I have in the past with other platforms. I love the way that the guy that built this, he thinks. He's a thinker. He's got rubber on all the contact points, so I can sit here and do this all day. Okay? You wouldn't do this in the woods, and this is quiet. Got rubber, I put some tape on there, it's even quieter. Same thing going on down here. He's got rubber on the bottom where this is, you know, making contact here. So all the contact points are rubberized, which I love that. Another thing I like is the rope holder. So when I'm done with this, all I gotta do is put the rope to the side, and I'm just wrapping this around. I'm putting it right in the little groove that he has made for this. And when I'm done, there's obviously not like any special way to do it. I just like to wrap it around twice, and I'm good to go. I have a little pouch in the back of my backpack. I just slip it in there like this, and I'm good to go. It's in there, it's quiet, it's right against my back, it's not going anywhere. And that's that. This thing is super light. Like I said, I think it's like sub 2 pounds actually. It's awesome. You guys should look into getting one. I bought this at the Mobile Hunter show, I think, and they came to Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is like an hour and a half from my house. And I'm like, yes, I should totally look into that. Showed up, and they were one of the first people I saw at the door was this guy. And this is probably the most impressive thing I saw at that whole show. Everything else was kind of lame, I'm gonna be honest. Moving on to my climbing sticks, these are the Lone Wolf Compact Doubles. Okay, I love these things. These things are fast, they're quiet, and very versatile. I haven't had any issues. I've probably climbed up like, I haven't even hunted with these yet, but I've probably climbed up 20 different trees with these now to hang. Actually, you could probably say 30, because I set up 14 trail cameras, almost all of which required me to use at least one stick to get the camera where I needed it to go, and also practicing mock setups in the yard. I've used this a bunch of times in the yard. I love it because these things pivot, these little brackets. I'll go ahead and unwrap this for you guys, kind of show you how or why I like it rather. So these pivoting brackets are so nice because when I'm going up the tree, if there's a knot, in the past I've had to rotate around the tree or kind of put my stick in a compromising position, which is kind of dangerous, you know. And as a kid, you don't really think about that, you know. So growing up, I didn't really care about that stuff. I was always like, oh, I'll grab onto the tree, I'm not falling. Well, I fell. So be safe when you're climbing up and down the trees. Don't be an idiot. That's what I used to do. I used to just climb and hope. So I don't do that anymore. Anyways, I like that they have these pegs that can go either way. What's nice about these is you can split it, and then you have two steps, or you can go ahead and flip it the other way, like this, and you can have them both on one side, you know what I mean? These things are like basically as modular gets, and as reliable gets. Lone Wolf doesn't miss with their stuff, and I stand by their products. I love their stuff, and again, not sponsored by them. I wish I was, but I am not sponsored by them, and I probably never will be. But they make great stuff that I will probably use for the rest of my life. So, and they also make great hunting videos. You guys should go watch those if you haven't watched those. They have a great YouTube channel. I think it's called Whitetail Addictions. Yeah, it's Whitetail Addictions. Their stuff is sick. I love their videos. So, anyways, that's what I like about these. Super modular, and you can basically do whatever you want with them. There's nothing stopping you. There's two things, however, that I don't like about them, and I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I'm not going to ever be like, oh yeah, these things are awesome, there's nothing bad about them, because there's plenty of things wrong with these things that I'm sure other guys would also agree with. So, the grommet idea that they had with these was super nice. This is the only problem. When you're carrying these things in, if you don't have a spot in your pack to put these, which I do, and you want to carry them like you would other sticks that stack kind of like in a locking way, and not through like a small rubber grommet that just kind of can be pulled off, this is what happens. You can lose a stick and it's falling down, and before you know it, you just made a bunch of noise. And I don't like that. I haven't found a way to get around that yet. I mean, I'm not going to carry them around like an idiot, you know, but I mean, in my mind, that's a problem. I don't really like that. But I also have a feeling that when it gets cold outside, those grommets are going to hold on to each other much better than, like right now, it's 87 degrees outside. So I have a feeling that the heat doesn't help these rubber grommets at all. I know when it gets cold out, these things are going to stick together like really well. So pretty excited to get to use them. I like them a lot for what I've used them for so far. The other thing that I was going to say that I don't like is the rope, the attachment method. This doesn't have any nice way to stack or be small. There's no way to put it together in a way that that they designed purposefully. So I kind of had to do some playing around with it, and I found that you can kind of figure eight this thing through, and I'm sure they got some video somewhere to tell you how to do it, but I didn't see it. So I just kind of played around with it until I found a way that I liked. And I found a way that I liked. I just kind of figure eight these things and stack it up nicely, and they kind of sit just like this, which is nice and tidy. It doesn't really shoot off or make any noise or get snagged or anything because it's so slim to the stick. I mean, look at it from the back. It's not like it's dangling anywhere. I will say this though, I'm definitely gonna get a rope mod for this. I don't really like, it gets kind of bound up in their little cleat system here in the front. Let me scooch toward you guys and kind of show you. It's hard to focus, whatever. It's kind of hard to go fast with these things. Like with the Skeletors, I could always just go boom, 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 and then wrap it around twice and you're done. This one, I'm kind of sitting there trying to like feather it into the cleat, and it's just not really that fast. Sure, it bites really good and it's not slipping at all, because that's thing number one, right? Safety. But for me, thing number two is efficiency, and this does not have that. At least the way that I'm doing it. I'm sure, again, there's probably guys out there that are doing it way faster than me. But I'm not that guy. So I probably just need to practice with it, but I found a guy that makes some pretty cool rope mods that I'm gonna attempt to use. So on to the next thing here that I'm gonna be kind of showing you guys that I use is my arrows. So these right here are the Valkyrie Reigns. I absolutely love these things. These things are awesome. I have put these through absolute mayhem. They're durable and reliable. I mean, it's a bulletproof one-piece design, basically impossible to break. I've tried to break the heads and I can't. I think this will be my 4th season with them. Let's see. The first season was the season of 2021. I don't even know. I'm not even going to pretend like I know when I started, but I know it's been at least 4 years with these things. And I love them. They're reliable. They have like a really nice test kit that you can use. And if you guys want to know how I went through that, I'd be happy to kind of explain that. I think the way I did it was actually pretty unique, at least from kind of what I have seen on the internet, but I don't really know a lot about archery yet. I'm only 22 years old, so come at me and say that I'm an idiot. I don't care. But if you guys want to know like how I did that, I'd be happy to show anybody how I did that. It's pretty simple actually. Thanks to Brett, and also, this is probably going to get some hate, the Ranch Fairy. I kind of took my really close friend's ideology in French tuning and kind of paired it with the Ranch Fairy's like tuning at your house with no bow press kind of idea, and it went really well. And I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it that way. So anyways, we'll skip past that. I'll kind of tell you guys how these work. So they have a system that's very simple. It's 2 pieces: broadhead, insert / outsert. Okay, the insert comes in here a little past the sleeve. The arrow actually is way up in here, so this thing goes way over and on the inside, so it really reinforces the tip of your arrow. Really protects the carbon from like mushrooming out. It's able to take some really heavy hits. Last season I shot, it wasn't a big body deer, I think it was like 165 pound 9-point, not a huge buck, it was like a 2.5-year-old buck, nothing crazy. And I actually shot through just above the humerus on his, what would be his right shoulder, and then it went through the other one, didn't go through the humerus, but just below it, and like shot out a rib, and it had no problems. I mean, you didn't even hear the arrow hit the deer. The noise that I heard, I had it on my GoPro. The noise that I heard was the arrow actually hitting a root from a small cedar tree on the other side of that deer. You didn't even really hear the arrow hit the deer, like the loud popping noise that everybody is always talking about. This thing glazed right through that deer. And there's a couple things that I'd like to contribute to that. Sharpness, hardness, and good arrow flight. Okay, I know that's only 3 of the 12 things, but I don't care. This thing is so efficient. It has no problems whatsoever with little twigs, grass, a little bit of wind. Like, it's such a slim profile, but it does do the job when it comes to cutting diameter. At least for me, it's like an inch and a little over an eighth, I think. And I know the whole ideology behind like heavy arrows is get a 2-blade, you know, with some bleeders, or a single bevel. You know, I'm not at that point in my journey yet. This is where I started, and I'm gonna stick with this for now until I'm comfortable with sharpening and all that stuff. But if you're looking to like get into heavy arrows, this is the way to go. It's very simple, and this coating that he puts on here actually is anti-rust. So it's not like you're having to always take care of the arrows after every hunt and be like, oh my gosh, let me get my rag out and wipe all these off and then put them in this case and disassemble my arrows. I don't ever have to do that. Every now and then I'll have to like wipe them off with my shirt or whatever, but he actually sells this stuff called Jag Wax as well that protects it. I don't use it, but you could if you wanted to. These things fly really well, obviously, because I tuned them. So I really like them, and I'm going to continue using them. I think right now my arrow weight is at like 558, which for some guys is really heavy, but in terms of what I've been shooting for, like I said, around 4 years, it's actually pretty light. Last year I was shooting like a 602 grain or high 90s, I can't remember what it was. But this is actually quite a bit lighter than what I've shot in the past, and there's a couple reasons for that. One, I would like a little more forgiveness in terms of depth perception, right? So when I'm guessing a yardage, I don't want it to be me guessing wrong by a few yards and it being a big deal. So I'm trying to find that sweet spot where this thing is ultimately like as balanced in every aspect it possibly can be. But I think the next step is for me to go to like a single bevel with some bleeders. But for now, like I said, I'm gonna stick with this. So that kind of concludes the gear changes, or I should say like the main things that I'm using when I'm hunting. But if you guys ever want to know like what my pack is, like what I'm putting in my pack, how I stack all this onto it, and how I use all this, and how I'm getting in a tree with it. Maybe like my bow setup. I love my Hoyt. Been shooting that now for a while. Let us know. I mean, Drew and I could probably do a video where we kind of talk about all that stuff and kind of show you guys how we set our stuff up. I know there's a million ways to skin a cat, you know, but it's always fun for me to watch other people do it their way, because something that I've learned is there's a nugget of gold in everybody's hunting style, right? So if you can gather all these nuggets, you're able to kind of grow really fast. So if you guys ever want to know kind of how we do things, I'd be happy to make a video with Drew or Reed, and we can kind of explain that stuff. So anyways, that's going to conclude all I have for you guys today. I'm going to go out in the yard and throw these up in a tree and sling some arrows. So hopefully the next time I see you guys is during hunting season, which is 80 days away now. So anyways, see ya.